extravaganza right here on kerncast.com. Appreciate you folks listening to me this afternoon. Doing the show solo. Lugnut Larry might join us later. We're not too sure what his schedule is like. We'll give you the update in a little bit about Lugnut Larry's cars. You know, Larry's old, crappy 1996 Honda Accord got stolen a week ago, actually on Sunday of this week, from the church that he attends, the New Life Church over on White Lane. And but they've recovered it, and we'll tell you about that coming up on the program. Also, I thought I would share with you this afternoon here on the big broadcast. I'm going to show. I've got my favorite gun. It's right down here under the counter. I have my absolute favorite gun in my collection. That's right, Jaz McKay is a gun nut, and I have my favorite gun, and it's a scary gun too, very, very scary. And I'm gonna whip it out. I'm gonna whip it out later on this program, and I want to warn you in advance that it is a very scary gun. This gun is much more scarier than your evil black rifles. It's scary. It's scary as hell. And I had to sneak it in because I was afraid that I would attract attention. So I had it wrapped up in a guitar case, and then I brought it in with. So it looked like I'm a musician coming into the Bakersfield Music Hall of Fame to do this show today. But actually, inside that guitar case is one of the most evil rifles you have ever seen. One of the baddest guns ever. And I thought I'd bring it in and share it with you guys. Hey, Goose, what do you think about that? I'm going to share today.
I think sharing is a good thing.
Sharing is a good thing, right?
That's what I keep telling my kids.
Goose Scott with us producing the program, driving the big old bus this afternoon. How you doing, Goose?
I am good. I spent the night working at my other job.
You have another job?
I have another job. I work part-time working in radio.
I'm sorry to hear
that.
I am so sorry to hear you have to work in radio.
It's not as bad as you think, but then,
dude, I did 42 years in the business, so I think I know how bad it is.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that. But I did do some interesting and some fun things yesterday. I have finally got the plane tickets and my reservations done for my vacation this year.
Coming up, when is that?
We're going in early January. We're going to go right after the new year, while the kids are still.
Where are you going to?
We're going to Orlando. We're going to do the big.
You're going to do the Disney thing?
The Mouse House,
the House of Mouse and all that junk.
Yeah, this is a bucket list thing. So. And my kids are excited. We've been talking about this for years, and every time we think we can put some money down to it, it's like we have a lot of other things going on.
Sure.
Of course, I was in school for 7.5 years, so a lot of the time I spent trying to get my degree and all that other fun stuff.
Well, good for you. So have you been to Disney World?
Never been to Disney World. We've been to Disneyland dozens of times.
Oh, sure.
But even when we lived up in the crazy north, we would come down about once or twice a year.
Come here instead of Disney World.
Disney World.
That's the way we pronounce it here on the show. Disney World.
Disney World.
Disney World.
And but yeah, but this is our first chance of going to Disney World, and I felt this had to be the right time to do it because my oldest is 20.
Right.
My youngest will turn 13 in October. And I just had this feeling that if we don't do it now, then we'll end up taking the kids and the grandkids
and the great grandkids.
And I was just like, you know what, we better
do it now, and that way it won't cost you as much later on.
Exactly.
With all the great grandkids with you, and you're going to love Epcot, Disney World, and Disneyland. I don't care that much about. To me, it's a big pain in the ass. It's basically an experimentation. It's an experiment. How long can you stand in line? So, but Epcot is just the coolest. And the thing about Epcot too, they have bars all over the park. They have like a beer garden in the German section. They have the redneck section, which is basically all your American beers. They have all kinds of little. Not that I would partake in the frosty adult beverages, because today, ladies and gentlemen, I celebrate 10 days of sobriety with virtually no urges other than just an occasional, it's in and out of the head really quick. And I want to thank the Heart of Hearts community. Those are the guys over at Grace Church, where I attend the AA meetings. Great group of folks over there. I had a meeting last night, have one tonight and tomorrow, trying to do as many meetings as I can. And but I gotta tell you a story real quick. About you mentioned Florida. Right. Now, my buddy Jerry lives in. Now, Jerry, I'm not sure if he lives in Pompano Beach or I think it's West Palm Beach. Anyway, Jerry and I have known each other for years. He's this is great. You'll love it. He's a radio guy, former radio guy, and his name is Jerry Peterson. I think it's Peterson with an O instead of an E, and his first name is spelled Gerry. So guess what his air name was, Goose, on the radio?
Crazy Jerry.
Jerry with one G, or Jerry with a G. That was it. Jerry with a G. And when I went to work at this station in Miami years ago, as Jaz McKay doing the morning show, he insisted on calling me on his program Jazz with one Z. It was Jazz with one Z, and he was Jerry with a G. So Jerry, I guess this was about 2.5 months ago, and I posted this on Facebook a while back. He's sitting outside his house, his home, having a cigarette about 9 o'clock at night, just before he was going to go in, watch the news at 10, and then go to sleep. So he's having a cigarette outside, and I guess he's got a little fence, like one of those short fences, maybe. I don't know if it's a white picket fence or if it's I've not been to this house Jerry has in Florida. But anyway, he's sitting outside. He's got that little chain link fence, I'm assuming what it was. And this guy goes walking by. Now, Jerry is an older guy like me. He's in his late 50s, early 60s. And he's got, I used to call him the old hippie because he's got long ass hair. And he's sitting out there having a cigarette. This guy walks down the street and he says, "Hey, man, give me a cigarette." Now, that's an actual quote that Jerry, he said, it's weird because I remember every little thing. He said, "I noticed that the guy didn't say to me, 'Hey, sir, could I have a cigarette? Can I bum a cigarette off you?' He said, 'Give me a cigarette. Hey, man, give me a cigarette.'" And Jerry said, "No, this is my last one, and I'm smoking it now, and I don't want to go to the store and buy another pack just to give you a cigarette." So, no. The guy doesn't say anything, continues walking, then turns around, comes back, says, "F you, you racist MFer. You're not going to give me a cigarette because I'm black. F you." And he starts dropping F-bombs left and right. He's screaming. Now, Jerry's wife is inside the house, and she hears the commotion, and she comes to the front door. She's standing on the inside of the screen door, and she's watching all this as it goes by, and she's got her phone in her hand. And they're both Jerry's one of these guys that has a gun in every room in his house. He used to pride himself on saying, "My entire house is a safe room." He had guns hidden in every room of the house, and he actually carries a gun in the small of his back while he's inside his house. So naturally, sitting outside 9 o'clock at night in West Palm Beach, Florida, smoking a cigarette, Jerry's armed. He said he had a .380 on him. And the guy starts saying, "I'm going to come do this. I'm going to come over there. I'm going to whoop your ass, MFer, you racist MFer," and all that. And he starts to try and open the gate. And that's when Jerry's wife steps out, or girlfriend. I don't think they're married. They've got kids. And so anyway, he steps onto the lawn and looks at her and says, I'm gonna whoop your ass, and I'm going to rape that bitch." That's what he said. "I'm going to rape your bitch." So anyway, he's trying to get in the front gate of Jerry's front yard. He walks in, and Jerry said he threw the cigarette down, reached around his back and said, "I wouldn't do this, dude. If I were you, I would not do this. Just keep going, keep walking. And the guy just starts to storm towards him. Now, at that point, Joey pulls his gun out. And, of course, he's holding it down. And so the guy saw that he had a gun, right? And he kept coming at him. He's yelling at him, stop, stop, stop. Get out of here. Go. Don't come near me. And he whoops that gun up, shoots a dude in the leg. Right there. Shot his ass right in the leg. And he said, right then, all of a sudden, the guy that's MFing him all over the place was really nice. All of a sudden, he's on the ground. He's on the sidewalk. He said he shot him just above the knee. And he's on the sidewalk, blood just poured everywhere. Going, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. And so by then, and literally just in seconds, they have like 911 on speed dial. And so his girlfriend's on the phone with the West Palm police. And they get there within like 3 minutes. There's 2 or 3 squad cars show up. They got there before the ambulance did. And the guy's on the ground, rolling around, oh man. And Jerry's standing over him, holding the gun on him until the police got there, yelling at him. He said, look at you, you're bleeding all over my sidewalk. Now what am I going to have to? I'm going to have to clean up this blood on my sidewalk. Why are you bleeding on my sidewalk? Well, the cops got there, and the cops, they said it was a good shooting, but of course it has to be investigated by the district attorney. Well, last night I got a text message from Jerry, and he was officially cleared of any wrongdoing in this.
Really?
In this case, yeah. And here's the kicker. Come to find out, the guy he shot was out on bail on a drug charge. On bail on a drug charge. Now, you know what just happened in this state, right? Jerry Brown, that penis wrinkle of a... I haven't used that word here. That penis wrinkle of a governor just signed into law, was it Tuesday? The elimination of bail. If you go to jail, if you're arrested for, quote-unquote, a non-violent offense, such as possession of, 200 pounds of meth, perhaps? That's a nonviolent offense, right? I mean, possession for sale. You get out in 12 hours, no bail, nothing whatsoever to induce you to show up in court. And they claim this is because poor people, the poor, pitiful poor, have to sit in jail waiting for their bail hearing. Well, wait a minute. Don't they have bail hearings within 12 to 24 hours of your arrest? And either you post bail or you don't. But no, Jerry Brown. First we had oh my God, how can we list them all? We've got the damn train to nowhere. We've got, what else? Oh, plastic bag bans, right? But it's not really a ban on plastic bags. Actually, we pay 10 cents for a bag now, and all that money goes to the grocery store union. Did you know that? It doesn't go to Greenpeace. It doesn't go to save the polar bears that are floating on icebergs right off the coast of California. It doesn't go to any environmental groups. It doesn't go to the cleanup of plastic bags on the street. The plastic bag ban, quote unquote, not really a ban. Actually, all that money goes to the grocery store unions, and I think the grocery store owners also. They get to split it. And, of course, the guys making the plastic bags get to charge more to the grocery stores when they sell you a plastic bag, when they sell the plastic bag. Then we got the straw thing. And I think that's regional. That's countywide. But still, we got the straw ban. What? Oh, the sodas. Now, it's past the assembly. If you buy, or if a server at McDonald's, for instance, serves your kid a soda instead of milk, they can go to jail. And now Jerry Brown has signed a bill that will make California the first state to eliminate bail for suspects awaiting trial, in a bill signed by Jerry Brown. It goes into effect, I want to say, October of 2019, which is next, about a little over a year from now. The bill will replace bail with a risk assessment system, although it's still unclear how the system will work. That's another thing. They pass laws, 2 paragraphs on a piece of paper they pass. Have you done any research? How are you going to implement this law? No, we don't know. We don't care. We're going to do it anyway because that makes us feel good about the poor, pitiful, poor people. And they're nonviolent offenders. Now, with all respect, due respect here, this will not apply to someone convicted, or I should say arrested for a violent crime such as rape or murder or assault and battery, things like that. But still, these people should have to go through this, run through the same system that we've had for years. It seems to be working okay to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe poor people who can't afford bail should be allowed to get out of jail. It's like a Monopoly game we live in California. It's a Monopoly game, right? It's a Monopoly game. It's all, get out of jail free cards. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come right back. More of the Jaz McKay Show coming up right here on Kerncast.
Cleveland, sit down. I want to sing a little song that kept me going when I had troubles. We were at the beach. Everybody had matching towels. Somebody went under a dock, and there they saw a rock. But it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster. Rock lobster! Rock lobster! Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail.
At the time you were arrested, you were served with a DS-367 temporary driver's license. It's good for 30 days, but if you don't act within 10 days, at the end of those 30 days, your license will be suspended. It's important for your lawyer to contact the DMV for you. Set up a driver's license administrative hearing so that your license does not go into suspension. That's something here at Braemar Law we do for you.
You're watching the Jaz McKay Show on Kerncast.com.
Everybody, we are back. It's Jaz McKay Podcast Extravaganza right here on Kerncast this afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for viewing or listening or whatever the heck it is. I love that. I love that little Family Guy thing that you played there with the rock lobster.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Family Guy.
Neither am I, but every once in a while you get funny as hell.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites. And we've got rock lobster stuff. You want to rock lobster? Rock lobster. Rock lobster. I remember when the B-52s first came out, and that was when I first heard them. What did you think?
What the hell is this?
I thought it was a joke. I swear to God, I thought it was a joke. And then later I came to realize these guys are brilliant. Mm-hmm. These guys are freaking... Are they still around?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they still perform.
The originals?
The original... the funny part was, I think over the last week, and I listened to Sirius XM radio.
Right.
And I listened to a lot of 80s on 8 because I'm a kid of the 80s. And they were doing... it
was an 80s...
one of the gals, they were doing a show.
Fred Schneider.
Fred Schneider.
How do I remember that dude's name? Fred Schneider.
Yeah, he was one of them. and one of the gals, I can't remember her name off, but they were doing their weekend road tripping songs, and they did a couple of their songs. Of course, they did Love Shack, their big hit.
That was their biggest hit.
And then
to me, it was not their best song.
And then they did Quiche Lorraine,
right?
Which I sit there and listen to. Wow, this is really good.
Years. No, they were really something. Came out about the same time as Oingo Boingo.
I remember them.
And they were originally called the Mystic Knights of the Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman, lead singer and songwriter. Then they became, from the Mystic Knights of Oingo Boingo to Oingo Boingo, and then they became Boingo. And Devo. We can't forget Devo, D-E-V-O. We're from Ohio, the land that's, what did they say, high in the middle and round on the end? Well, anyway, talking of, by the way, coming up, my mostest, favoritist gun in my vast collection of guns. This is an evil gun, absolutely evil. Call your friends. Well, I'll tell you what, call your friends right now and say, you got to tune in, Jazz is going to show. I've actually brought it with me here down to the Kerncast studios. My absolute favorite gun. It is the most evil weapon you have ever seen. This is going to scare the shit out of liberals. And whatever you do, be aware. That's coming up in a few moments. Also, I wanted to send a shout out to whoever the guy is that is doing. Do you ever, I know you got Sirius and XM, do you ever listen to 98.5, The Fox?
Yeah, it's actually our favorite.
Bakersfield's classic rock.
My son and I, that is like our favorite. When we listen to radio stations,
I love the music over there.
Yeah, I love the music.
I listen to the classic country station, KCWR, and I listen to 98.5, The Fox, Bakersfield's best classic rock. And I want to thank the traffic reporter over there. I don't know about you, Goose, but I love it when... I love education. I love learning things. You never get too old to learn. I just turned 60 years old and I learned something the day before yesterday. You know what it was? All this time, now this came to me from the traffic reporter at 98.5, The Fox, Bakersfield's classic rock. He does it came out of, I don't know, freaking Journey song or something. Go into a stop set and they go to the traffic guy. And the traffic guy, I didn't know this. Did you know that Knudsen Drive, you live out in the 08, right?
Right. Yeah.
Did you know Knudsen? Now, Knudsen Drive, right there at Knudsen and Olive, where Hodel's is, the 7-Elevens right there, the car wash and all that, and then the Starbucks, right there. Did you know Knudsen is not pronounced Knudsen?
Then what is it pronounced?
Knudsen.
Oh.
I did not know that. But the traffic reporter from 98.5, The Fox, Bakersfield's classic rock, did a traffic report about an accident on Knudsen Drive and Olive.
Come on.
I shit you not. I thought it was Olive and Knudsen, but apparently it's Knudsen and live and learn. Am I right? Live and learn, folks. I wanted to tell you, speaking of we were talking about lobsters, Rock Lobster by the B-52s, great song, or by Peter, whatever his name is, Peter Griffin, over at The Family Guy. A horrible tragedy to report this afternoon. People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals wants to build a 5-foot tombstone where lobsters died after a crash on Route 1 in Brunswick, Maine last week. According to the Brunswick Police Department, several of the crustaceans that were aboard the Cozy Harbor seafood truck got crushed as a result of a rollover. So the truck is heading down Route 1 in Brunswick, Maine, right? And he's got a load of fresh Maine lobster. And so, anyway, I guess he swerves to miss a car, something like that story goes. And it rolls over, and all the crates come flying out of the truck. And there was like 120 lobsters, and about 10 of them didn't make it. So now, Get this. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals want to build a 5-foot tombstone where the lobsters perished. You know how when somebody dies in like a car accident or whatever, and the family goes out and puts up that little cross, you know, and that's nice. Put the flowers and everything around it, and that's very nice. Those are human beings. These are fucking lobster, okay? That's what Peter, and they want the state of Maine to pay for it. Tombstone. Now, the detective in the case who was investigating for the Brunswick Police Department said, it was something I've never seen before. Some lobsters were loose on the ground, running around, trying... Anyway, so the letter from the PETA people to the Maine Department of Transportation, Maine's DOT, asked them to create a roadside memorial where the lobsters lost their lives. Get this, you ready? Here it is. This is from Vice President Tracy Ryman of PETA. She's the executive vice president. She said, countless sensitive crustaceans experienced an agonizing death when this truck rolled over and their little bodies were crushed into the highway. PETA says that they hope to pay tribute to those individuals who didn't want to die, with a memorial urging people to help prevent further suffering by lobsters by keeping them and other animals off our plates. Now, the Brunswick police showed up at the accident site. Now, you're going to love this. Mm-hmm. They showed up at the accident site with 5 pounds of boiling water, 5 gallons of boiling water, and 5 pounds of garlic butter. Yum. Poor lobsters. Anyway, some people are saying that it's frivolous. Some people are laughing and saying this is ridiculous. But think about those poor lobsters. They had mothers.
They were just as good eating.
They had mothers. Innocent lobsters, never done anything to anybody. And they died in this horrible car crash. One resident said, I am not cruel to animals, but what goes way too far? A monument on the highway? Are you effing kidding me? We don't even put monuments up for people who die. What's the difference between them falling on the road and dying than being put in a pot of boiling water and we eat them? Either way, they're dead lobsters. You believe that? Can you believe this?
I find it interesting that they want to build a
monument. That's no lie.
They want to build a monument to dead lobsters, but they want to tear down monuments
to dead Confederate soldiers.
To war heroes.
Did you hear they're putting up, they're replacing one of those monuments, by the way?
I heard something.
I think it was in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I believe they're doing, where it was one of those monuments that was statues that was torn down last year by an angry mob of Antifas, and they're proving that they are anti-fascist by being fascist. Mm-hmm. Brain dead liberals. But yeah, they're putting it. The state is putting it back up. The state said, "Screw it, we're putting that monument back." And it's not any body in particular. It's not right. Stonewall Jackson or Robert E. Lee. It was just a monument to the men that served in the Confederate Army, and unfortunately died, lost their lives. Well, speaking of food, let's see. Oh, here it is. I wanted to bring this to you real quick. This is in Plainfield, Indiana. Chick-fil-A, of course. Which? Oh, I know, right?
I'd go for
Goose
chicken sandwich. I'd go for a chicken sandwich right now.
Oh, I could definitely use some Chick-fil-A. Anyway, Chick-fil-A, the evil Chick-fil-A, who, by the way, whose business over the past 3 years since the controversy is booming. People are lining up at Chick-fil-A still. The owner there plans to do some renovations. So what happens to the employees that work for the Chick-fil-A? Because after all, they're not going to be able to work at the store because the restaurant's under renovations. Right. It'll be a month or two before they get it finished. And all these poor people would be out of work. Well, the owner of this particular franchise of Chick-fil-A, while the restaurant is being remodeled, will continue to pay his employees to do community service. How cool is that? The restaurant will be closed for a remodel from the end of September through sometime in November, but it has 100 employees who will then be deployed throughout the area to serve with nonprofit organizations including schools, parks, recreation, and the Active Grace Church. Which is a center actually where they help. They do a lot of work for homeless people at the Active Grace Church. And according to the owner, his name is Chris Spires. He says this is the best way that he can think of giving back to the community and taking care of his employees. That's the way it should be done. That's the way it should be done, folks. I love that because these people would otherwise literally be out of work for 3 months. We're talking 3 months.
And the interesting part is that they probably have to, go on unemployment. The owner would have to pay the unemployment. So here's a great way.
Pay them to work for the community. Damn that evil Chick-fil-A. Damn them. Damn them all to hell. I'm not serious. But anyway, coming up, speaking of evil, coming up, the most evilest rifle in my collection. Actually, it's a rifle and a pistol. It's a combination. Coming up, my absolute favorite gun in my collection. And coming up next, we'll talk about Lugnut Larry. Lugnut Larry, who couldn't be with us today, did get his car back, but it's not a pretty picture. And I'll tell you about that next, right here. It's the Jaz McKay Podcast Extravaganza on Kerncast, baby.
Don't go too far. Jazz will be right back here on Kerncast.com.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
Patriot Bail Bonds has the best customer service in Bakersfield. Patriot has more 5-star ratings than any bail company in Kern County. Plus, we're fast and affordable. If you run into the law, make Patriot Bail Bonds your first call. That's right, one call, that's all.
If you're in jail, call Patriot Bail. Studios.
Well, I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on, but that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear the whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. If that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line.
This is the Jaz McKay Show on Kerncast.
Somebody wouldn't let you play it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are we back?
You were back. I'm
I
sorry.
am back. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Isn't there a...
I get so busy talking to you that I forget.
We're talking to each other in the break. Isn't there a Leonard Skinner tribute band playing here at the theater inside the Bakersfield Music Hall of Fame coming up?
Yeah, I don't know what the
I think
dates
they're
are.
called Simple Man or something like that. Yeah. That's coming up, and I'm sure you can go to the website of Bakersfield
The Music Hall of Fame.
Music
I
Hall
know
of
they
Fame.
have a foreigner tribute band coming in, which ought to be interesting. But you're right. I forgot about this.
I love tribute bands. I love cover versions. How about that cover version of Folsom Prison?
Oh my
Blues?
gosh, that was so good.
Was that great?
That was fantastic.
I can't think of the guy's name. Chris Marchioli or something like that. And he just does these heavy metal versions. He's got one of Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits, and I think he's even got one of, I don't know, Wham or something like that. But speaking of prison, real quick, a new bill in California, get this, will give kids just 2 drink options when they choose something to drink at a restaurant. So only 2. All right, well, milk or water. That's it. And here's the kicker. If the server actually serves a Coke to the kid, now this could be a counter person at McDonald's. This could be a Cafe Med. Okay, it could be at McDonald's or Cafe anywhere. If a kid is given a soda, the server goes to jail for 6 months and is fined $2,000. Do you hear about this?
No.
Oh, yeah. Senate Bill 1192 would make the options of milk and water the only drinks available to kids in an effort to reduce obesity. CBS Sacramento reports that the bill passed by the state assembly and on its way to Governor Brown's desk. If he signs it, California then become the first state in the union. Yay! Don't you love being first? Yay! We're the first to ban plastic straws. We're the first to ban plastic bags. And we'll be the first to make sure that the kids will have to drink milk. Wait a minute. Doesn't milk have all kinds of nasty shit in it? It causes mucus. Mucus, that's it.
Mucus.
Anyway, California lawmakers could make it a law that the sugary sodas will be harder to get in a new effort to impact the eating habits of children. Don't you love it when the government decides that you as a parent have no right to raise your children? They'll do it for you because you're not doing a good enough job raising your kids.
So let me ask you.
High there.
Let me ask you this really quick. So let's say that I buy the soda and just.
See, now, it's not clear whether or not you as a parent would go to jail. That's something else. Again, they write these laws, but they just, like one sentence. Kids will not drink sodas at restaurants. They have no idea how they're going to enforce it, how they're going to implement it. Will there be cops undercover in restaurants? I'm so glad to know that we have no other problems in California to deal with. No gang issue, no drunk driving, illegal freaking aliens. No. We've solved all of those problems, haven't we? Now the only problem that we have is childhood obesity, and they're actually trying to tie it in also to cancer. Apparently Dr. Pepper, Coke, Sprite, Pepsi, whatever, causes cancer too. And so the American Cancer Society is behind this bill. The anti-obesity, you know what it is? It's just like Hillary Clinton said, man. It takes a village, dude.
Well,
it takes the village. We must all step up and raise the children and take care of the children. It's all about the children.
I thought our buddy David Hogg said it takes a child to raise a village.
That's right. Oh, did you hear about David Hogg? Says
I saw that.
He's more popular than Jesus. Now, for you younger viewers today on Kerncast, you don't remember this, but back in 1965, there was a guy by the name of John Lennon. Mm-hmm. He was the guy that was in the band with Paul McCartney called the Beatles. Anyway, he made a comment, very innocent comment if you go back. He said, and it was a criticism of their own fame.
Mm-hmm.
He said, in some cases, we're more popular than Jesus Christ. And I remember that, well, you're too young. They burned Beatle albums, and they were having all these protests against John Lennon for saying the Beatles were more popular than Christ. Well, now David Hogg has said the same thing. Also, real quick side note before I go on. Did you hear about the judge in New Mexico, in Taos, New Mexico? Dropped all the charges against those jihadists that were training the kids in the desert to shoot up schools. Dropped the charges. Anyway, California lawmakers will make this law. The woman, Stephanie Wynn says, cancer is fought in the halls of government.
What?
Cancer is fought in the halls of government. Not at
yeah, I don't remember. When my mom had cancer, I don't remember her going to the halls of government.
She went to the halls of the hospital.
Yeah.
Exactly. No. Apparently, according to Stephanie Wynn of the American Cancer Society, cancer must be fought in the halls of government. Her group is one of many that is supporting this bill that would force restaurants to automatically serve water or milk with kids' meals instead of juice or soda.
Okay, yeah, because we know that juice has just so much sugar.
So much sugar, it's going to drive them nuts and make them fat. Coming up in just a moment, I will reveal, I've got it right down here at my feet, my favorite gun in my vast collection of firearms. All right, that's coming up. But first, Los Angeles has apparently finalized a vote now. They're renaming Rodeo Road to Obama Boulevard.
Oh, God.
Oh, and they made the vote, I guess they voted yesterday or the day before, in celebration of Obama 10 years ago becoming the first African-American nominated to run for president. Wait a minute, I thought Jesse Jackson ran for president. Oh, he didn't get nominated, that's right. That's right. He didn't get nominated. So, anyway, it was also the 55th anniversary of Dr. King's March on Washington, where he said, I have a dream. And the Eric Garcetti, oh my God, what a douchebag. Mayor Eric Garcetti tweeted out, we are so thrilled that Los Angelinos, you have to say it that way, Los Angelinos.
Los Angelinos.
And visitors will forever be reminded of the great legacy of Barack Obama when traveling across L.A. Where is Rodeo Road? This isn't Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. This is Rodeo Road.
Oh, this is Rodeo Road. I thought you were talking about the name. Rodeo Drive.
Rodeo Drive.
Rodeo
right?
Drive.
Rodeo Drive. The road will run from Baldwin Hills in South L.A., often referred to as the Black Beverly. I didn't see that. The Black Beverly. That would be, wouldn't that be a great show? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Black Beverly Hillbillies. If they brought back the Beverly Hillbillies. Oh my God. Get me Les Charles or one of the other great producers in Hollywood of television programming. We got a great idea. The Black Beverly Hillbillies. Anyway, the roadway spans a residential strip, and a predominantly African-American community establishments are being forced to change their stationery, I guess, and all the logos. Yeah. It'll be Obama Boulevard, Dorsey High School, Baldwin Hills Elementary School, and Rancho Cienega Sports Center and Park. What's your favorite street in downtown Bakersfield? What's your favorite street?
Oh, downtown Bakersfield?
Yeah. Goose, what's your favorite street in downtown Bakersfield?
I'll say.
Would you say?
I'll say Oak.
Oak. Okay. My favorite street is 19th Street, and I'll tell you why. I'm an antique nut. I love collectibles, and all the coolest antique stores are on 19th Street. And I came up with a plan now you tell me what you think, all right? We've got Chester Avenue, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I proposed a plan back then. I talked to Jackie Sullivan and a couple of other council members, and I suggested that we rename 19th Street Festus Avenue. Right?
Yeah.
Right? And so we would, at 19th Street, we'd change to Festus Avenue, and Chester. And right there on the corner, on one side, you put up a statue of Chester from Gunsmoke, for those of you who don't know. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, a statue of Festus. Does that make sense?
He makes sense to me.
I'll help raise the money. Speaking of raising money, as you know, last Sunday, Lugnut Larry's car was stolen from the parking lot of the New Life Church on White Lane in broad daylight. Stole his old car. It's worth about $600, $800. They stole the damn car. He got it back. Well, they found it. He hasn't got it back. He said they trashed it. They absolutely destroyed it. And he said about $2,000 worth of damage to a $600 car. The only transportation Larry has, his family has. Lugnut Larry said he wanted to junk the car because apparently across the street from the tow yard was a junkyard, right? Mm-hmm. And they were going to give him $500-$600, whatever, for the car, just for scrap. The tow truck people wouldn't let him take the car even across the street. They would have come over and towed it out of the tow yard to the junkyard, but they wouldn't do it because they had a $250 lien against the car for the towing and $50 for 1 day of storage.
And the name of this tow company is?
I honestly don't know. But that's standard, though. You ever had a car stolen? Because I have. And
I had a car repossessed, which was basically...
but stolen is too, because repossessed, you ain't getting it back unless you make the payments that you owe already. But when your car gets impounded, once your car is... Or even if you're illegally parked, I've had that happen too, where they towed my car and I had to go down and get it out of the tow yard. You got to pay the towing charge, which is whatever the hell... I don't know if that's regulated by the government or not, but you had to pay that tow charge and the storage bill for however long the car has been in. Now, you're allowed to go into the yard and retrieve all of your belongings, but I don't think there was much left. They trashed the car. We have a GoFundMe account up for Larry, and I would again ask you to please, we talked about this on Tuesday, go to www.gofundme.com/Lugnut Larry. Make a donation. I think there's $675 going towards a $5,000 goal to get Larry another car, another vehicle. So please, I think it's right there at the bottom of the screen.
Yep, it's right there.
There it is. I can see it now. Go to www.gofundme.com/Lugnut Larry. Make a donation. I don't give a damn, $10, $20. If everybody watching this right now were to make a $10 donation, we'd have $70. That's right. We have 7 listeners or viewers to this program, and we're excited about that because we started out with 6,000. Anyway, we'll come right back, and I will reveal, I will show you, I will present to you on Kerncast so that you may view and gaze upon my favorite gun in my gun collection. Yeah, that's coming up next, right here on Kerncast.
You've been watching Jaz McKay here on Kerncast.com.
Introducing the new California State Penitentiary Bologna Sandwich. Jail food sucks. Don't let your family eat jail food.
You're watching the Jaz McKay Show on Kerncast.com.
Oh, never mind. It's water. That's a water jug. What's the matter with you? That's not vodka.
John, I was trying you to share something.
God, I should have brought the vodka. Anyway, Goose is, I was supposed to bring you beer. When you're an alcoholic and you're in AA, they tell you get rid of all the booze in your house. Well, I got a 12-pack of beer in the bottom of the fridge. Well, you got to get rid of it. You've got to get rid of it. I want to say hi to all the folks from Heart of Hearts, Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Had a meeting last night. Went there last night. Laura went with me, and everybody was excited to see her. And it's a great group of folks. And if you feel like you've got a problem with alcohol, do what I did. Go Google Bakersfield AA, Bakersfield Alcoholics Anonymous. There are just literally tons of people out there willing to help you, and you can find a meeting near you. Now, I also am a member of Gun Owners Anonymous, which is an organization trying to help us deal with our addiction to guns. Evil gun. Now, we've all heard about the EBRs. You know what an EBR is? Goose, you know what an EBR is?
Ever.
Evil black rifle.
Oh, yes.
That's your AR-15s and your AK-47. This is not an evil black rifle because the color on this rifle is not black. It is green. I'll tell you that right now. And I brought it with me today. And, of course, I was getting some strange looks from the people here at the Bakersfield Music Hall of Fame when I walked in with this gigantic, huge rifle. And I'm going to bring it out right now, and I'm going to show you that this is my favorite rifle, my favorite gun in my collection. All right? You ready? Mm-hmm. Okay, this is really heavy, but it's down here on the floor. If you just pardon me for a minute, I might disappear out of camera sight. Anyway, let's see. I can get it. Oh, God almighty. Oh, this thing weighs a ton. Oh, Goose, vamp for me while I'm trying to balance this thing, will you? Yeah, vamp for me. You know what vamping is?
I'm in the mood for love, simply because you're near me.
I think I got it here. This thing weighs
Please
a
get
ton.
the gun up off the floor,
Here it is.
because I'm running out of words.
There we go. There it is, right there. Check that out. It's my favorite gun. This is the oldest gun I have, too.
You know what's really cool?
It's from 1964.
You know what's really cool?
What's that?
The fact that the gun is green.
Yeah. It's an evil GR.
I could see your face through the gun.
Go ahead and kill the green.
I will kill the green screen.
I forgot about that. Showing my green rifle, you can actually see our logo behind it. All right, so you see. By the way, this green behind me is the pod that we're in for the podcast. Got it? Okay, ready?
Yeah, it's down.
All right, this is my evil green rifle.
Don't shoot hands up. Don't shoot hands up.
I'm pointing it at you. All right, it's got this little bipod right here. It separates like that. Ready? Oh, let me see if I can get this over. Ah! What do you think, Goose?
It's a beauty.
You get a good run up and down. Let me show you. This is made by Topper Toys. It's circa 1964. This is my favorite gun in my collection. This is called the Johnny 7 OMA. Now, Goose, do you know what OMA stands for?
OMA. I was going to say, oh my.
One Man Army.
One Man Army.
One Man Army. Right here, let me show you this. This is really cool. Now, I don't have all the ammunition for this baby. That's the grenade launcher. You have a little plastic grenade you put down here, and you press, right there with the buttons going. And it doesn't even stay up. It falls in. And it shoots a grenade. This is for the anti-tank. Let me get over here. This right here is the anti-tank. Can you see that?
Oh, nice.
And there's a missile, little red missile that went in here. And you pressed, I can't remember, but this button right here. And it would fire the missile. This end around here, you could put missiles as well. And there it is. Let's point it right at the camera. This should scare people. This is a really evil gun. And this is now the bullets, which were white, they went in here, and you could cock it right like that, and pull the little trigger, and it would actually shoot the bullets out. Now this, I don't know if this is the machine gun.
Carefully.
I don't want to break it, so I'm not sure if I should do this. Anyway, you pull this one back when I was a kid, and you flip that switch there, and this is the stock right here. Okay, can you see the Johnny 7 logo right there? This is made by Topper Toys, 1964. And this is called the stock. if you're a gun guy, if you're Diane Feinstein, this is the thingy that goes on your shoulder. It's the thing. It's the shoulder thingy, right? Oh, take a guess, Goose? Why they call it a Johnny 7?
Because I want to say because it has 7 actions that you could use.
Exactly. It's 7 weapons in one. You've got the rifle here. You put the bullets in here and then fire it right there like that. That's one. You've got the anti-tank missile, which I don't have. I don't have any of the ammo for this thing. And it's spring-loaded. You put that in there and you press this button. You had 2 missiles that go in here. And the grenade launcher, of course. And then here, this is the best part. Right here. Watch.
Nice.
Now, the funny thing is, look, can I tell you a story? Mm-hmm. You know how I love to do Facebook Live?
Yeah.
Which is, I should have learned my lesson a long time. I whipped this out on Facebook Live the other day. I got a complaint. Somebody complained to Facebook. I ended up getting this message from Facebook saying, you cannot be waving a gun around threatening to shoot people. I'm like, that's a toy gun, for the love of Pete.
Yeah.
So anyway, and it fits right in here like that. I've had this gun since I was, since 64. We used to play Army back in Oklahoma City when I was a kid. All the guys in the neighborhood get down.
When you could pretend to have a gun.
Well, they had all these really nice guns, these toy guns, right? Mm-hmm. That made rat-a-tat-tat sounds. All I had was a pipe. That my dad had fashioned a shoulder thingy on the back of a pipe and screwed it into this pipe, and that was my fake little gun. And I was crying because I saw the commercial on TV for this gun here, and he went out and bless his heart, he bought this. I think this was like $6. Probably $7.99, $6.99 when it was new. And nowadays, if you look these up on eBay, I saw one for $1,000 a while back.
Really?
Yeah, mint condition, not like this one. This one doesn't have. Okay, get the grenade launcher. There we go. Hey. Works like new. But this is an evil. Can you imagine this on the market today?
There would be people picketing outside toy stores.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have all these and by the way, can you imagine what's going to happen in this neighborhood if I carry this back to the car like this? So anyway, let's. Do you have the commercial?
I have the commercial already for it.
This is the original commercial for the Johnny 7, 1964. Go ahead, play it.
Your squad is ready for you to lead them through. With Johnny 7 OMA, you charge. Fire grenade. Bullseye for Johnny 7. Watch out, tank. Fire anti-armor shell. Fire anti-tank rocket. Johnny 7's got him on the run. Johnny 7 fires bullets like a rifle. Fires like a Tommy gun. Now it's a cap-firing pistol. You've won with Johnny 7, the one-man army gun. It's 7 guns in one. Let's count them. 1 is a grenade launcher. 2 anti-armor gun. 3 anti-tank gun. 4 bullet-firing rifle. 5 Tommy gun. 6 anti-bunker gun. 7 cap-firing pistol. There's no other gun like it. To be sure, look for Johnny 7 OMA, the one-man army by Topper.
I'm not paying attention. I'm not paying attention over here.
Oh, for the love of Pete. Isn't that funny? Isn't that commercial funny? You would never be able to sell this item in a toy store today, a modern version of the Johnny 7. You said that, in the movie Jingle All the Way?
It was mentioned in Jingle All the Way. There's a scene where they're sitting there talking about, and Sinbad's character talks about all he wanted
when
for
he was
Christmas
a kid
when a kid was a Johnny 7. And I thought it was a fake toy until you brought it in, and I went, "Oh my God,
it's real!
It's a real toy."
When I showed up, we played Army every Saturday in the woods behind my house in Oklahoma City. And when I showed up after having, I kid you not, a pipe, a metal piece of pipe with a fake wooden stock, or like I said, shoulder thingy on the back of it. Then I show up one day after my birthday, in 1964, with this baby. There, go ahead, make my day. It's got little sights on it and everything. But be careful if you do happen to find one of these that has the accoutrement, the missiles and the little bullets and everything, because you could put an eye out with that.
You'll shoot your eye out. Another Christmas movie.
So anyway, that's that. I'm sorry, but I have a lot of my old toys. I gotta start bringing in. We'll call it Show and Tell Thursday, and cool. Jazz will. I'll bring in a toy next.
I'll bring
Thursday
something in.
There you go.
I got something.
We'll all bring in our old toys. I have. I have all the toys that I had. Not all of them, but I got a bunch of toys I had when I was a kid. And I love it. I love toys.
I have something I'll bring in next week that will blow your mind.
Absolutely. Now, don't forget to remind me.
Yes.
Because that's 7 days from now.
Yeah.
God knows what's going to happen in my brain between now and then. I have a tendency to forget. Anyway, that is going to... what's coming up later on Kerncast, by the way, Mr. Goose?
At 2 o'clock, we have the Kelly Gladden Show.
Kelly
3 o'clock, we have the Inga Bark Show.
Inga! Call me, Inga.
And 5 o'clock, again, the smartest woman in podcasting, Denise Gary.
Denise Gary Show. She is amazing. I love Denise Gary. I love watching her program. Best talker in town. All right. That's going to do it for me. I am Jaz McKay. Until next time we meet, God bless America, and I'll see ya.